funny thing happened as I sat in a Paris cafe the other day. Tourists at the next table were fantasizing about buying an apartment here. I did the same kind of thing myself when I first came to try out my dream to live part-time here in Paris. This kind of dream is so common among tourists that there's a word for it. It's called Paris syndrome. The term refers to the culture shock and disappointments foreigners can feel when they come to live in Paris and the reality of living here doesn't match their romantic fantasies. It explains why some foreigners who come to live here don't stay more than a year or two, or why an American friend of mine here who once lived in Cairo found it much harder to adapt to Paris than to Cairo. Because when she moved to Egypt, she realized it would take time to adjust to the culture. But when she moved to Paris, she expected it would be like the honeymoon experience she had enjoyed on vacations here, which led to worse culture shock. I made the same mistake. So I'd like to take you on a behind-the-scenes tour of my Parisian life and show you some of the ways I managed to take the fiascos of my first year here, which I shared in part 1 of this video, Following My Dream, Adventures in Paradise, and how I turned them into a kind of dream come true. I came to Paris after reflecting upon what dreams I still had for my life, despite an illness which had left me a shut-in in my Seattle home for 14 years. When I decided to make my Paris dream a top priority, I spent several years preparing, which included getting additional health treatments. But after arriving here, I soon learned that I would need to develop skills to turn my Parisian life into my dream come true, and that I would also have to assemble a healthcare team here. After years of trial and error, I finally found some things critical to turn my Parisian life into a kind of dream. Dream from an adult place rather than from one of childlike fantasy, because I've found out the hard way how unrealistic childlike fantasies can lead to huge disappointments. Make a list of 4 priority experiences I'd most like to have each time I come here, and focus the list on experiences I can count on, such as enjoying beautiful walks or eating delicious food, rather than on more elusive experiences like making new friends. Because my time here passes by surprisingly quickly, and each year can differ from the one before. The other parts of life here I see as an adventure of the unexpected, and if I make new friends, I see them as a bonus. Reassess my dreams each year to see if I want to make any changes to them. Rank them in order of priority because I have a limited amount of time, money, and health. With my Paris dream, I reassess whether I'm still getting enough out of it to justify dedicating 3/4 of my focus and finances to do it. After years of honing my skills for making my dreams come true, a surprising thing began to happen. Most of my dreams changed to what I call the being side of life rather than the doing side. One of those dreams on the being side was that I wanted to feel that I was having the time of my life, whether I was in my home city, Seattle, or in Paris. I'll share one of the most effective tools I developed to achieve that dream in part 3 of this video, Living My Dream. Look in the description below for links to buy my book and to subscribe to my videos, and for links to the other 2 videos in my Following My Dreams series.